back to Project Too Easy. Today we're going to be looking at ecology for Year 9 Science. And here we go. So, ecology is the study of the relationships between all living things. A biotic factor is a living element of an ecosystem. This includes plants, animals, bacteria, fungi, and other living things. An abiotic factor is a non-living element of an ecosystem. This includes air, soil, temperature, minerals, water, light, and any other non-living things. Levels of organization. We organize organisms into 5 tiers. These are organism, population, community, ecosystem, and biosphere. Level 1. Organism. This describes the individual organism in an ecosystem. This could be a specific ant, human, tree, dog, or any other living element. Population. This describes a group of the same species living together in an ecosystem. Community. This describes a group of different species living together in an ecosystem. Ecosystem. This describes a group of biotic and abiotic factors interacting in an ecosystem. Biosphere. This describes a group of ecosystems. Trophic levels. In an ecosystem, we sort all organisms into one of these levels, them being producer, primary consumer, secondary consumer, tertiary consumer, and apex predator. The producer converts the sun's energy into useful compounds via photosynthesis. The primary consumer, which are usually herbivores, consume the producers. The secondary consumer consumes the primary consumer, and so on until we get to the apex predator that has no natural predators. The decomposers and scavengers eat organisms from all levels and break them down. Lost energy. After moving up a level on the trophic pyramid, you lose 90% of the energy. This is because the organism uses most of it for moving around. Therefore, this lost energy is converted to heat. Let me show you. Let's just pretend the sun gives 1,000 kilojoules of energy to this grass, and then a grasshopper comes along and eats some of that grass. So now this grasshopper has 1,000 kilojoules of energy in it. Now, let's say a rabbit came along and ate that grasshopper. Now, because that grasshopper has been moving around, it has lost 90% of that 1,000 kilojoules. So now that grasshopper only has 100 kilojoules in it, so this rabbit only gets 100 kilojoules. And so on. The rabbit's been hopping around, now it only has 10 kilojoules, and the snake eats the rabbit, so the snake only gets 10 kilojoules. And then we get up to the apex predator, which will only be left with 1 kilojoule. Relationships in ecosystems. Organisms work together in nature. They can interact with their own species or even with organisms of other species. Symbiotic relationship. A relationship between two different organisms that live close together. Non-symbiotic relationship. A relationship between two different species that are not dependent on each other and do not live close together. Mutualism. Organism A and organism B both benefit from the relationship. Communalism. Organism A benefits and organism B is unaffected. Parasitism. Organism A benefits and organism B is negatively affected. Predator-prey. Organism A consumes organism B by hunting down and killing it. Collaboration. A group of organisms work together to achieve a goal. Competition. When two organisms fight over something. Here are the 2 types of competition. Intraspecies is when a group of the same species fight each other for something, and interspecies is when different species fight each other for something. Population dynamics. This is the study of population changes in an ecosystem. Factors that affect population. Reproduction and immigration can increase the population, and death and emigration can decrease the population. If part of a food chain is removed or altered, it could affect every other level. Ecosystems exist in a dynamic equilibrium. Change can upset the equilibrium, but eventually a new equilibrium will be established. Weather and seasons can also change populations. When an area gets colder, organisms may move to a warmer area, and vice versa. During spring, many organisms breed, which increases the population. Carrying capacity is the most of a species that a habitat can support. Once this is met, many of these organisms will move away, therefore stabilizing the ecosystem. Photosynthesis. Earth's energy source is the sun. All life on Earth uses energy passed on from the producers. Light energy is transformed into chemical energy through photosynthesis. Sunlight enters a plant through chloroplasts. Each cell can contain 40 to 50 chloroplasts. Chloroplasts contain a green pigment called chlorophyll. Photosynthesis versus cellular respiration. And these are just the chemical formulas for both of them. And that brings us to the end of ecology. I will be doing a separate video for measuring populations, since it's a bit of a big topic. But other than that, that's all I've got to say. So, I hope you guys have a great day. This was made by me, Project Too Easy, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!